We have a special treat for you today.
We are about to tell you a very dashing tale and a little bit about ourselves. A lot of you have been asking questions about our early life and how we met.
We're going to tell you a tale that spans millennia and ends with our first home.
Now, what many of you may or may not know is that Simon and I did not start our married life in a chateau, believe it or not, but rather in an apartment in a grade 2 listed Georgian townhouse in Edinburgh, Scotland. And it was actually also our very first historic renovation project, but we have done many since then. We've done a Tudor lodge, 2 Paris apartments, a Georgian flat in Bath, and now 2 French chateaux.
But how did you end up living in Edinburgh, you might ask?
Well, one day we will tell you guys the story of how we met in Bermuda and what took us to Scotland. But for today, just know that Simon convinced me to move to Edinburgh, and it was not a hard sell because I had spent my whole life hearing about my family's noble past. You see, my family name is McDougall, and it honestly does not get much more Scottish than that. And like many other Scottish families in search of land and riches in the New World, my ancestors found their way to America. But our tale stretches back much, much farther than that. Simon's had his hands full since he married me, and I think it's safe to say that it's in our blood. We are a feisty lot, and we don't ever shy away from a challenge. And so why is my family history noble? And also, yes, a little bit wild.
The Clan McDougall is one of Scotland's oldest and most historically significant clans, with a lineage that reaches back to the early medieval kings of both Ireland and Scotland. And Vivienne's family story is a mixture of royal ancestry, Norse Gaelic power, military conflict, and enduring influence in the Western Highlands. Clan McDougall descends from Dougal, son of Somerled, all the way back to the 1100s, so nearly 1,000 years ago. Somerled was a 12th century warlord of mixed Gaelic and Norse ancestry, and he rose to tremendous power, becoming King of the Isles, Lord of Argyll, and one of the most influential figures in medieval Scotland. Dougal, Somerled's eldest son, inherited large territories, and his descendants became the MacDougalls, or son of Dougal. For centuries, the McDougalls were the dominant family in Lorne, an area covering modern Argyll, centred on Dunstafnage and Dunolly. Their chief seats included Dunstafnage Castle, one of Scotland's oldest stone castles, and Dunolly Castle near Oban. The clan controlled sea routes along the west coast, giving them enormous strategic influence.
But it wasn't always to be smooth sailing for my stroppy ancestors. The McDougalls became powerful allies of the Commons, and when the Commons and Robert the Bruce clashed, the McDougalls sided against Bruce. In fact, our motto is Boad no Ba, and I'm pretty sure I'm not pronouncing that correctly, which means victory or death. It's on our family crest, which I have with me always on my little family ring. And when our daughter Isabella turned 18, she got hers too. Victory or death, we're in it to win it.
In 1306, the Battle of Dalry, the McDougalls ambushed Bruce, nearly capturing him. This is when Bruce's famous claymore was allegedly lost. Then, in the Battle of the Pass of Branda in 1308, Bruce retaliated and defeated the McDougalls. Their lands were largely confiscated and transferred to the Campbells, their long rival clan.
I'm going to tell you something that is true. When I was a little girl growing up in Tennessee, my father said, "You can marry whomever you like, as long as his name isn't Campbell." And I cannot make this up. Over 700 years later, thanks, Dad.
Well, just as well my name isn't Campbell.
Just as well your name isn't Campbell.
So obviously this marked a major turning point, reducing Vivienne's family's political power.
Sounds like we brought that one on ourselves.
But despite the blow, as you can see by the presence of my lovely wife, the McDougalls endured. They continued to hold Dunolly and parts of Western Argyll. They served as naval leaders and regional magnates under the Scottish crown, and they married into other Highland families, strengthening ties across Argyll and the Isles.
Now, in the 15th to 17th centuries, the clan remained active in Western Highland affairs. They also supported the royalist cause at times, though not as prominently as some clans.
By the time of the Jacobite uprisings, the McDougalls seem to have finally learned a few lessons. Did I mention that they are very, very stubborn?
No, stubborn? Never.
Anyway, as I was saying, they kept their heads down a bit. The McDougall chiefs generally supported the Hanoverian government, or stayed neutral. Individual clan members joined the Jacobites, but as a clan as a whole, they did not commit. So this allowed them to avoid the forfeitures that devastated many Highland families.
You see, diplomacy runs in our blood. And consequently, our clan is still very much alive and thriving, and you can even still visit our castles. And maybe it was all of this talk of castles and history, and not just fairy tales about princesses, that drew us to the joys and challenges of castle and chateau life. But alas, unlike many of our noble friends who have lived in their castles and chateau for generations, somehow we seem to be missing an important detail.
And so now you're probably wondering about our aristocratic titles. Well, recently we were very graciously gifted land and titles from an area close to Vivienne's ancestral homeland of Oban, from Highland titles. Yes, you heard that correctly. Our very own Lord and Lady titles and an actual plot of land.
Our package includes this incredible Lord and Lady of the Glen, certificates of rights, and proof of our noble stature. It's true, that's right. I am Lady of the Glen, and Simon is Lord of the Glen. We even have a certificate to prove it. Now, he has always been noble in my eyes, but it is now official.
It's really fun also to have your own title and certificate.
And this certificate is printed on a heavy card, and I have to say, if you really want to be grand about it, you could frame this. This makes a really, really super
we have to.
fun conversation point.
That has to be framed,
Yes.
and that will definitely go up in our house. So despite that great novelty value of being granted Scottish titles, yes, all perfectly legal and valid, and here's our proof that we actually own this land in Scotland and where it is. The very cool thing about this programme is that each acquisition of land, which comes with these titles, goes to support the Highland Titles Nature Reserve at Durrell, a spectacularly beautiful area of over 200 acres of ancient woodland, meadows and wildlife habitats, very close to Oban, land of Vivienne's people.
It's even recognized as a 4-star visitor attraction. And once you have your land, you can organize a visit to your very own plot.
There are a number of packages to choose from, starting from just £35, with worldwide shipping.
So not quite as expensive as it once was to be granted noble status.
Exactly, and from our land and titles we have received an official personalised certificate, the location of our land so we can see it on Google Maps.
You get a Lord of the Glen coaster, I get a Lady of the Glen coaster, and then they're reversible, look at that.
You can dedicate a tree and more. Well, this is really cool. Have a look at what they've managed to achieve so far with this programme. So they've planted tens of thousands of trees, they've created a 3-acre lochen, which I think is a lake area. They've reintroduced red squirrels to the area. They've started their own tree nursery. They are building the biggest bug hotel in the world.
Wow.
They are working with local schools on educational projects, building dozens of habitat boxes for bats, birds and bees, created miles of all-ability access tracks. They're using saddleback pigs and Highland cows as part of the land management strategy.
Wow.
And they're welcoming thousands of visitors from all over the world every year. So it's a really worthwhile program, and I think if you can get involved in this is a great way to do something ecological and good for the history and landscape of Scotland.
I love this so much that I'm getting plots and, yes, titles for my brother and father for Christmas this year. They're going to lose their minds, especially my dad. They just love their Scottish history, their Scottish heritage, and we even made a pilgrimage together years ago and saw Macbeth performed in front of our castle.
Yeah, that was great.
It was.
If you'd like to gift yourself or your loved ones what Forbes magazine has called just may be the coolest gift ever, check out highlandtitles.com.
This definitely has to be one of the most fun gifts ever, and we've had so many good laughs telling our friends all about it, all of whom, I might add, are actually a little bit jealous.
Well, then they can go to highlandtitles.com and get their own land and noble name.
Yeah, or I might even, grant them their own title as well.
Well, come on, my lady, let's take a walk in the woods and pretend that we're in the Scottish Highlands.
I think we're definitely overdue for another visit to my homeland, maybe to visit our plot.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we're going to take advantage of this very Scottish and misty weather here and enjoy dreaming of Scotland.
Perfect. Well, I feel like I'm in Scotland. It's
It
raining.
does feel like Scotland, doesn't
It's
it?
pouring with rain.
Scotland comes to France.
Yeah. But it's nice to be in the countryside.
Yeah.
I wonder what our plot of land is looking like.
I bet it's looking lush and green and maybe a little misty.
And then maybe a tree there now that they've planted.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Me too. And it was a lot of fun telling you guys a little bit about my family history. I love sharing a little bit of our lives with you and what makes us all interesting. And if you have an interesting story about your family history, especially if you're Scottish, but even if you're not, that you'd like to share, I'd love to read about it in the comments. That brings us a lot of joy as well.
Yes. So are you going to let this title go to your head, your ladyship?
Oh, I think it already has, me lord. I think it already has.
I guess that means we're going to need more help around our castle.
Yes. I could really do with a lady's maid and a chef, for starts.
Oh, great. Does that mean that I can now quit my job and spend my days shooting and reading and walking the dog?
Sadly, my love, me lord, aristocrats these days do mostly have to work as well. And in our next video, we have lots more renovating, lots more holiday adventures. It is all happening now, everybody. It's the run up to Christmas and...
It's action-packed. There's a lot to go in. That's hysterical.
the Lord's side.
Definitely.
It's
Very
so
cool.
great.